Hey, what's going on, guys? Nick Trigili here from Generation Iron, bringing you guys some coverage for the New York Pro 2019 this upcoming weekend. We have 19 guys competing in the open class. Very, very, very big and deep show this year. We have a lot of guys coming from international to compete in this show, which is very rare. You don't see that many guys come over here to do the show. But being the third biggest show now in the world, you get a lot of really bright talent, up-and-coming talent. You don't need a qualification. Anyone can enter this show. So it's a lot of fun to see these guys battle it out on the New York Pro stage. This year, as you guys know, it's in White Plains, New York. It's a very good stage to watch a show on. It's very up high when you go to the stands. It's fun to go. It's a big auditorium. So this year, I'm going to point out a couple of my front runners. And then maybe I'll point out a dark horse or two that I think might be able to sneak up in this top 5. But I can't physically go through every single person in this list. We'll be here forever. So I'm going to point out a couple of my front runners. It's going to be Josh Wade, Akeem Williams, Juan Morale, Joe Mackey, James Hollingshead, I believe Milan Sadek from Czech Republic. These guys are off the bat. I know their competition history. I know what they look like on stage. I know what they look like compared to others. We've seen a lot of these guys compete already this year numerous times. Juan Morale has to be the favorite going into the show, being a previous New York Pro winner. I'm sure Akeem Williams is probably number 2 on this list for possible win or second place. Josh Wade's first show of the year, who knows what he's going to look like. He's been outstanding every single show, improving his physique. James Hollingshead just came off a really good placing. We've seen him stand next to Akeem. And then you got Joe Mackey, who's making a comeback, who's been in the dark for a while. Got tremendous, tremendous muscle bellies. Phil Heath-like muscle bellies. So there's a lot of talent. All different physiques, too. Apples and oranges, which makes it even more interesting to wait to see these guys stand next to each other and then really see who really is the guy that's going to win this show. I really hope Akeem gets a win at this show. I'm rooting for Akeem. Not that I'm against anyone else, but I'd like to see Akeem get a win and get an Olympia qualification. Juan's already got the qualification. I'm sure he's just doing this show because it's in his backyard. It's a New York show. It's a fan favorite. It's a big show, good publicity, and why the hell not? He's probably shredded still. So obviously I think it's going to be a battle between Juan and Akeem. I think that's who's going to be between. And then from there, it could go to James. It could go to Joe. It could go to Josh. It could go to Milan. Now, there's a lot of sleepers in this show, okay? There's a lot of sleepers in this show. For you guys that don't know these guys are international competitors. We haven't really seen much of them on the scene here. They could sneak up in any placing or even take the show, for all we know. Especially the guy from Afghanistan, Yasin, and then there's a guy named from Peru, Caesar. You have, Derek Upshaw is from Massachusetts. I don't know who Andrew Hudson is from South Africa is. I've never seen him before. You have a couple guys from New York doing a show, Pennsylvania, a guy from Germany. You have a lot of guys in this lineup, guys, and there's no one to write off. There is no one to say, hey, that guy's going to get last place. I don't have to worry about him. That is not this lineup. Everybody in this lineup is comparable muscle-wise and comparable placing-wise and comparable to what shows they won and placing. So, also, you have to take into consideration that there's 19 guys now. Okay, this is a big lineup for a New York Pro. So you don't want to get lost in the shuffle. You want to stand out. You want to bring razor-sharp conditioning, and you want to make a presence on stage. Don't walk out on stage just lethargic. You got to have some enthusiasm. Got to have some personality, charisma on stage. Draw the attention to the judges. Make sure they remember you when you walk out there, because this is almost like a small national show to remember when you go back to that lineup. You want to draw some attention to yourself. You got to stomp out there, get the crowd going, show your physique off, bring razor-sharp conditioning, get everyone's attention. I'm really excited to see this show. I'll be there covering the show for Generation Iron. I'll be doing interviews, actual live coverage of the show, some stage stuff. So I hope I see you guys there if anyone's going. As far as Juan goes and Akeem battling this out, which I think is going to be the last two, as long as Akeem brings the package that he's brought, that's been the A-plus package, I don't see him losing to Juan, only because of muscularity purposes. If he brings that conditioning and Juan is maybe a tad off, Akeem will squeak by. I mean, I think they'll give him the nod and say, hey, you know what? Akeem deserves this win. Juan's qualified. Why the hell not? I think that's how they look at it sometimes. I really do. You know, I hope he's pushing extra hard this time, put the gas pedal all the way on the floor, because we are at the New York Pro. We are not traveling. We're not flying. He's got nothing to worry about, no stress. He literally takes a 20-minute drive to the venue and competes. So let's do it, Akeem. Let's bring this one home. And then you have James Hollandhead sneaking up from the United Kingdom. Joe Mackey's from Texas. You know, these guys got to be razor sharp too, though. Akeem carries a lot of muscle, which it is a bodybuilding show. So alone, he already has enough muscle than most of these guys on stage, if not all of them. So to see him just razor sharp is what all we need to see. Josh Wade, he's been working on bringing that waist down, which I think he's improved it, which is crazy. Obviously, he's got a lot of muscle too. Always brings razor sharp conditioning. Never seen Josh off really before. But will they reward his physique is the thing. He doesn't have the most aesthetically pleasing as the rest of these guys do, but he does pack a lot of muscle on a frame. I also saw Quincy Winkler coming from the 212 up to the open class, which will be interesting to see what he looks like. I never really saw Quincy nail it in the 212 division. He's obviously Rolly Winkler's brother. He's not really the same size as Rolly, so I don't know what he's going to do in the open because he seemed undersized in the 212. So I'm interested to see how much bigger he's got for the open class, if any. That'll be interesting to look out for. Yeah, so that wraps up the open preview for the 2019 New York Pro, guys. I'm really excited to see you guys out there. If you guys have any questions, obviously you know where to find us at info@generationiron.com. And make sure you guys click subscribe and like if you like this video. And make sure you guys follow me at Nick World Class on Instagram. And thanks for listening, guys, and I'll see you this weekend.